Justin from the Front Row Mafia. ISPW Weekly is going live. Also, I'd like to send a special shout out to Total with Tom's wife and wish her a happy anniversary. But not Total with Tom. As you can see, Total with Tom sucks. That guy sucks every day of the week, 7 days a week, 24/7, 365 days a year, every day that ends in Y. The absolute worst. So I hope his wife has a beautiful dinner by herself and maybe a glass of wine. Maybe make it 2 glasses of wine so you forget about the crumb bum that you married, the guy that gets booed out of every single town he goes to. So happy anniversary to you. Total with Tom, you still suck.
Previously on ISPW Weekly.
Nice, man.
Ubadin, I recognize you. Ubadin, Ethnic Caleb.
Huh? You want to come out and you want to put this stupid pumpkin on my head? Do you have any idea who I am, Yosifer? Do you have any idea what you've done?
Episode 79, ISPW Weekly. I don't know what happened this past weekend at ISPW. That's the name of this week's show, by the way. What just happened? Just making sure I can hear myself. It was a wild weekend at ISPW, and we're going to go over everything tonight, and we're going to have you, the listeners, give your opinions on what happened this past weekend, and we'll go over anything you want on the comments because tonight's episode is just between you and me. We're going to obviously go over what happened this weekend, but we have no guests booked for tonight. I'll start off with the first comment. There's a noticeable trend when Kalitri always getting the cheap shots. Yes. So, Justin, that was obviously the night that Yosifer put the pumpkin on Ray Kalitri. And Ray didn't take too kindly to that, so he attacked Yosifer at the end of the evening. Henceforth, the battle that's been going on between these two. And that's really going to be the highlight of tonight's show is the rivalry between Yosifer and Ray Kalitri, because after this weekend, that hit a major, major point here in ISPW. I'll go over some of the JVD saying this is dangerous territory. You wish to elaborate on that? Coach, you get everybody rocking on Sunday, set the tone. Look, Coach, I mean, if you were there on Sunday, they were graced with my presence. We'll get into that a little bit more, all right? There was somebody who actually started off the show, and I sure ended it, and we'll get into that in a minute. But first, I just got to take care of some business, okay, guys? We're taking care of some business right now. We're going to go over some of the results that happened first in Clifton on Saturday. I'm just going to briefly give you what transpired. LSG opening match, pins Ryan O'Neal. The New Reality then came out, put their tag team titles on the line against the Silk City Kings. The New Reality debuted a new finishing maneuver. It almost looked like a one-winged angel that, God, I forgot his name already, but it was Recon and Corvus putting up Bulldog Pittman on their shoulders and doing a one-winged angel. Very impressive. And, of course, they scored the pinfall 1-2-3. If someone remembers who that guy is in AEW that does that move, let me know. Wow. John Van Decker says he's only here to support Toto with Tom. Boo, JVD. Now, I am very confused. Very confused. Justin, I believe this was the same night you cost Recon the tri-state title. You are also a pumpkin head. Actually, Justin, that's the same night that Eric Corvus knocked me out inside the ring and left Recon there to be pinned. So thank you for trying, but that's not what happened. Anyway, Brandon Downey defeated Ricky Price and a returning Nikos Ricos in a three-way dance. So Brandon Downey retaining the ISPW Light Heavyweight Championship. Yosifer and Justin Carino went to a double disqualification. Now, we have to talk about this match for a second because Yosifer debuted the High Priestess. All right. He's calling it his girlfriend right now. But the High Priestess was out there in support of Yosifer, and she made her presence known ringside. At the end of the evening, Justin was so frustrated, he was forced to get himself, doing some tactics which Toto Watam would typically do. And of course, Yosifer retaliated, thus forth, double disqualification. After that, you had Joe Clean pinning the A player, Anthony, to retain the tri-state title for the time being. And then you had me, Toto with Tom. I actually did make an appearance in Clifton. I wasn't scheduled, but it gets me upset when I see these faculty members from these schools. Let me get this comment off of here first. Hold on a second. Wish Tommy F. Hopefully he is recovering from his injuries. Yes, coach. We all have him in our thoughts and prayers. He's doing well. For those of you that don't know, Tommy injured himself over the past weekend. But the biggest thing about that was that he actually showed up at both shows. So he's doing very well. And nobody has seen the crumb bum Brent Struble. We're not sure where he has been. Ricky's right, 1,000%. Yosifer picked up the phone, obviously called her, and she reciprocated. I mean, it all goes back to the dating game, Ricky. It all goes back to the dating game. I mean, Downey is getting better every time out. Coach, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Let me just go back to what I was saying before. It gets me upset when we have a general manager that's pretty general in Rob Williams, and then I come to a show in Clifton, and the superintendent from Clifton goes out there and says he's the general manager for the night. So here's what happened.
Just like the song says, nobody does it better than Toto Watam. As a matter of fact, I think Toto Watam should be the GM of ISPW. Well, you see, that's the problem. Every godforsaken town I go to, there's always a new GM. And do you know what Toto Watam does to those GMs? Do you know? Do you know what Toto Watam does to those GMs? You're canceled!
That's right. I canceled him right on the spot. I'm sick and tired. And I said it right there. Every town I go to, there seems to be a new GM. I'm throwing my hat in the ring. You heard it. Toto Watam for GM. I'm contractually obligated to show you what happened next.
Tell you something, Toto Watam. I don't know who you think you are, but this is my house. And in Clifton, we take our school security very seriously. Hey guys, let's get him out of here! We're canceling him! Get him out of here! Get him out!
Franklin Myers would not get out of my way. I would have been out of that ring in no time. A fat boy got in my way. Unceremoniously jumped.
Na 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 na
That place is a joke. And Franklin, get out of my way or lose some weight. Barbarians do not use phones. Buy his wares. That's right. BCP. I'm going to mention the BCP for a minute. BCP Plus has some footage that you want to see from this past weekend. One match in particular I want to point out, Richard Holiday versus Alex Ryman. Watch that match in its entirety on the BCP Plus, and then also check out the BCP, God, why did you have to make that so difficult to say? All right. BCP Plus. Wait, what is this? Rob Williams. Congratulations to the new. No, Rob, you're blowing everything. We weren't supposed to talk about that yet. This guy has his own podcast, and you would think he'd know some etiquette. Anyway, go to the BCP Plus website. Watch the interview that Rob Williams did with Richard Holiday. Okay, it is fantastic. And we might as well, let's see. All right, so I am in favor of this. The Polar Bear Plunge was canceled on February 28th due to the weather, okay? But you can see the link right now for the Special Olympics. Click on that, okay? We are having the event. It's going to be March 14th, Saturday in Seaside Heights. Yes, Justin, he's very general. Generally speaking, Rob Williams puts the general in general manager. That's the key. Look, Tommy Fierro is here, everybody. Hey, everyone. Tommy, we were giving you well wishes earlier in the show. What is this? Justin, I hear the stepdad showed up in a creepy white van and instantly. Can you please screen some of these messages? Okay? I can't be looking at them for the first time. What does a GM do exactly? Well, Bob, I mean, obviously, it makes perfect sense what a GM does. He sets the tone for the evening, okay? He makes extra matches. He changes what happens during matches, okay? He might have an interview segment between two wrestlers. It's his show. What did the GM from Clifton do? Not sure. And wait till you see what the GM did in Sparta the next night. Getting back, though, to what happened in the main event. First, we have to talk about Alex Ryman. Grueling match against Crowbar. Crowbar coming back to ISPW, a sight to be seen. He has been missed. Of course, when Crowbar gets into the ring, that usually spills outside the ring, and that's where Alex and Crowbar went. At the end, Alex was able to come away with a win by pinfall. Then, on to the main event, and this I have pictures of. Let's check it out. The main event was Ray Calitri against Vargas. This was for the undisputed ISPW Heavyweight Championship. So, obviously, you got Vargas. There he is, right? Looking great and all. He's got his title. And then, of course, you've got Ray Calitri with his title. Okay? Of course, Dawn Marie over to the right-hand side, special guest referee. Of course, Ray Calitri had Soraya by his side, as you can see her on the left-hand side. And what happened at the end of the night? I don't have to tell you anything more about it, except Ray Calitri became a 3-time ISPW heavyweight champion. Here he is being held up by the assistant, Angel Reyes, and the A-player, Anthony. What a team. Who you don't see off to the side because that idiot Jay Vogel, who did take these pictures, okay? Jay did a nice job taking these pictures. Also, John Van Decker from the Front Row Mafia, he took these pictures as well. He helped out tremendously for ISPW. So credit goes out to the crumb bum, JVD, and Jay Vogel. But Jay, you cut out Lawyer Lee. Lawyer Lee is on the left-hand side, and we cannot see him. Get the picture right next time. More comments. Let's see what's happening here. Crowbar, legend. Yes. Rob, thank you. Rob, happy birthday to Crowbar. Yes. Tommy Fierro, 2026 Golden Ticket Rumble Day and location immediately following this show. See, you guys get all the latest and greatest on ISPW Weekly. JVD, his friend Alex was not pleased with my Crowbar t-shirt. Well, why do you wear that t-shirt to a show? that you know that he's going to see it. I mean, that's just crumb bum 101. You don't do that, JVD. I don't get it. Anyway, that night ended. We turn around. We go to the next night. Spent the night in the hotel. Hardly had any sleep because Kalitri, I mean, they didn't go to bed. I mean, the party that was happening in his room was ridiculous. Have breakfast the next morning. He tells me a whole bunch of stuff that I can't repeat on here. That's fine. You guys don't deserve to hear it anyway. Go back to Sparta the next day. The show starts. A crumb bum by the name of Steve Fabian comes out, and he starts off the show in Sparta. Okay? And I'm like, here we go again. What's going on? So here's what happened.
Who are you? Well, Tom, you may host a little internet wrestling show, but I host an actual TV show seen by 7 million people every day and 14 million people on YouTube. So I think a lot more people know who I am and not you, Tom. All right. You made your point. I had every mind to come in here and cancel you tonight, like I do to all these GMs, but I'm going to let it slide. It's getting hot in here. Hold on. 7 million? You have a winter coat on. 7 million? 7 million, Tom. That's a lot. Wait a second. No. You listen to me. Hey, Tom. Boo this man, ladies and gentlemen. Boo this man. Let me tell you something, Tom.
Let me tell you something, Steve Fabian from Inside Edition on CBS. I don't care that you have 7 million viewers every week or 12 million on YouTube. The fact is, you're lucky I'm not showing what I did to you right afterwards. I put you on your keister. Me and Jorge Sante had the last laugh. You were on your back, and we left as heroes because there's nothing more than I can't stand than someone who's telling me that ISPW is some sort of small show, some little internet show, and you're on the big network. Very frustrating. Very frustrating. You know, maybe I will show it.
Who are you?
No, that wasn't it. This is it.
You still wore a Pope John shirt to a Sparta event. I apologize for that. Will this make it better? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Another Pope John. What's wrong with you, Tom? Why is he beating you?
Now that, my friends, was awesome. And then the show started. Let's see if there's any more comments. But first, Ray, 3-time champion. Yes. JVD, LOL. What? John, I don't know what that means. Rob Williams with the googly eyes. Lawyer Lee is a loser. Now, why would you say that? He is not a loser. Do you know how many people came up to me this weekend and asked for his legal advice? Okay? Lawyer Lee is well respected in the ISPW locker room. That's right, coach. Who are you? Who are you? And Lawyer Lee is most respected in the industry. So anyway, after that segment, Ricky Price came out, pinned Bean Dip Daza. It was an entertaining match. Ricky definitely had the best of him, though. Then the new reality comes out, and they took on the Stepdads. And I know I went on here last week and said the Stepdads were going to be new tag team champions in ISPW. It didn't happen. Now, You can see this footage on the ISPW YouTube page, which will be loaded on later tonight, as well as my Instagram page at Toto with Tom. I'll have the highlights from that match, which weren't many, but the New Reality are still tag team champions. Then one of my favorite matches of the night happened next. Probably my favorite match of the night was the A-player Anthony pinning Joe clean and becoming a two-time tri-state champion. We mentioned about Alex Ryman and Richard Holiday. Catch that on the BCP Plus, okay? And then Vicious Vicky, who has been annoying me lately, she came out and she pinned Kayla Lopez in a one-on-one confrontation. All great and good. Then, of course, before the heavyweight championship match, the four-way dance, we had the light heavyweight championship. As I said, Jorge Sante, who I was representing that evening, had the chance to take the ISPW light heavyweight championship away from Brandon Downey. And let me tell you something, guys. We were this close away from doing it. You'll see what I'm talking about. Plum Bum grabbed me. And that's what you get. The referee was already knocked out, so he wasn't any help. Here we go. We were ready to end the career of Brandon Downey right here. His lights were going out. He was done for.
You know who you're hitting. Oh, he's gonna hit.
This guy. I'm sorry, Esmeralda. I'm sorry you had to see that. Steve Fabian, I don't think you've heard the last from Toto with Tom. Then we had the main event. The main event, four-way match. Vargas, Ray Calitri, the undisputed champion, Justin Carino, and that no-good 3,000-year-old barbarian. I watched that match from underneath the bleachers. I haven't seen a match tooth and nail like that all year long. And at the end of the day, it was very disturbing what I saw. All I could say is if a picture's worth 1,000 words, all right? This is like right here. 3,000-year-old barbarian with a high priestess holding the new ISPW championship belt. There he is, Yosifer, the barbarian, the most unlikely champion ever at ISPW. And there he is. And you know what gets me even more upset? This, my friends, this. What is going on? Now, at the end of that evening, I was in the locker room and I overheard some discussions going on. And of course, earlier today, this was shown on the ISPW Facebook page.
Shine it up real nicely now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Joe Clean couldn't even do his own name. He couldn't keep the title clean. It's back in the hands of the A player.
Can't even do a drop toe hold.
Hey, man.
What the hell are we doing?
Just shining the title.
Why? Why?
He's just acting, sir. He's just a little dirty.
Do you have any idea what just happened? And you're sitting here shining a title! Do you understand what just happened?
We're gonna get it back.
We lost the most important title in the company.
You weren't pinned.
And I pay you a lot of money, Lee. I pay you top dollar to be my legal counsel.
Calm down, sir.
Monday morning, 8 o'clock. This gets straightened out. You'll hear from me. What? Wait for that phone call.
We're never pinned, right? We're gonna get it back.
It'll be all right.
Calm down.
It'll be all right. I promise.
That was stolen from us.
It was.
Yep. You never pinned, sir. Never pinned.
That stupid referee.
And Lawyer Lee did what he said he was going to do. I'll show you what happened right after I get through some of these comments. I guess you're a little late to the party, Brandon, but I did show what happened in that match, okay? I see that you are chiming in this evening. Great matches, the entire card. Yes, Coach, they were. And, Coach, we thank you for showing up and driving 7 hours to come see ISPW. Brandon is growing on the coach. He's getting better and better every time he sees him. Look, I'm not going to deny that. Okay. Brandon Downey obviously gets better every time he goes out there. I saw the talent from the beginning. I saw it a year ago. I said it here on ISPW Weekly. He's been on this show many times and we discussed it. I'm just not understanding the way he's going about it right now. But we'll get into that another time. And here's JVD saying he thinks Anthony needs to fight Brandon Downey. That looks like a tremendous match. Lee, congratulations to Anthony on taking back his tri-state championship. Yes, Lee, we showed that, and we're going to show that announcement that you had. Coach, again, saying thank you. And let's go right to the what happened Monday morning with the lawyer Lee Petrie. Guys, check this out. First, let me get this comment out of here. Where is that comment? By Bob. Come on, Bob. How do you work this? Where is Jumping Jim? I think Kalitri set a record losing the title in less than 24 hours. Not very funny. Okay? Not very funny.
This is Lee Petrie, legal counsel, trainer, and advisor to the Shining Star Ray Kalitri. And I'm going to do something a little out of character this evening. I'm going to go out of my way to thank ISPW officials. Why am I thanking them? Because they knew they had too much at stake. What did they do? Saturday, March 28th, at the Vernon Pal, it will be Ray Kalitri versus Yosifer L. for the undisputed ISPW Heavyweight Championship. Thank you, ISPW, for doing the right thing. Team Poppy, let's go make history again.
There you have it. The 28th, April, Vernon PAL, the rematch for the ISPW Heavyweight Championship. Lawyer Lee gets things done. Okay? We have a kinship, him and I. He gets things done. I get things done. And I tell you what I'm going to be doing come Friday the 13th. Okay, we all know I have my match with Rick Recon. We all know I managed to get one hand tied behind his back. We all know that Eric Corvus has been banned from the building. And we all know that Toto Tom has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. But what you guys don't know is also what's happening March 13th. My women's champion, Tina San Antonio, puts the title on the line against that no good, vicious Vicky Venuto again. Now, I've kept Tina away from ISPW because there is nobody that can touch her. Sunny Kiss was obviously an aberration. She came, we pinned her, or she pinned her. But I was there, and we did it together as a team. Tina is pinning everyone in the Northeast. I don't care if you're Clara Carreras. I don't care if you're Rebecca Scott. Gabby Ortiz has been pinned by Tina San Antonio. Everyone is getting beat by Tina. She's not just a champion here in ISPW. She's a champion all over the Northeast. And she's going to show it again come March 13th. Because, yes, she signed her name on the dotted line to take on Vicious Vicky again. And it's not just a regular match. No, it's not. It's a Hackettstown street fight. And you know something, Vicky? I have a bone to pick with you for kicking me at the Golden Glitter halfway across the Parsippany Gymnasium. Okay? I almost threw up when you kicked me in the stomach. First time I see you at that Hackettstown street fight, Vicky, right across the face. That's what's going to happen to you. And then Tina is going to wipe your butt all over that gymnasium. And you're never going to be able to challenge for that women's championship again. Because Toto and Tom and Tina San Antonio rule the women's division. Get me out of here, Esmeralda.